wake me up when it's over, mate.
Let's do that again.
I won't be doing it again because I know that you're rolling right now. I know you're rolling.
Oh, man, I was so close. I might have just got seconds of you napping there. A millisecond at the start.
Pretend napping, not real napping. Pretend napping.
Well, I don't know. Who's gonna tell? It just looked to me like you woke up.
Sorry,
That's what it looked to me like.
Sorry,
yeah,
what
exactly.
were you saying? Were you speaking? What was that?
For this week's thumbnail, you should just pretend to be asleep.
We did have
We've done
a
a sleeping
solid
one
lunch.
before.
We had a solid lunch.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
hit
thinking
hard.
I could have a nap right now after that lunch. So if I nod off during the show, you'll know why.
Just in future, let's put lunch between this and the private.
Yeah, that'd be a better
I don't mind being this bloated during the private feed.
Although we've been going all day, mate.
Yeah, we have. That's standard for us on a Wednesday, though. That's how we roll.
Interesting. Should we change up the order
that we record?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we should do tech first.
Do we need to be at our best for this one? You know, like a fully.
I feel like we warm up.
Fully
to this.
attentive.
I feel that's a good question, actually.
No. I think the way we do it now is we get through the stuff that.
I actually think the movie. This is massive
the
inside
movie
baseball.
show we do first. I still we stick to that.
Really?
Because we sort of get it's.
I don't feel like I'm always at my peak.
Why is that? Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm like right now. I'm firing. That could be because we just had lunch.
Yeah, you're fired up.
Like I'm.
Isn't that funny? And I feel like I could easily have a sleep.
Yeah.
now.
Well, it's been like 10 hours since I ate. So
are you
I had
on
breakfast at like 3 a.m.
Are you having the?
No, I just got up early.
Fasting. Are you
No,
doing the fasting?
I had cornflakes this morning.
Oh.
But I had it early. I got here at 3:30.
3:30. Like every day is like an Apple launch day for you, is it? Is that what you do?
Pretty much. Yeah.
You think Apple might launch something today? Is that what you're saying?
I just I feel like I get stuff done.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I could be more efficient. I definitely sat here for half an hour before I went. Okay,
Not
watching.
half an hour.
Stop watching. No, like at 3:30.
That's nothing. Half an hour. So what?
No, but I'm sitting here going, mate, you're gonna. I said
You're
to
up
myself,
early for a reason.
I said to myself I was going to do this, and this before Stephen arrived. Right.
Right.
These are the things I want to achieve before we start.
Yep.
So that I can then
Because
complete them.
I did arrive earlier than
You
we
did.
normally do. Yeah.
You did, and then I want to finish those things this afternoon. So yeah, I wasn't efficient with my time. That's why I don't want Amanda working here.
Oh.
She'd be like, "You just sit and watch TV all day." I'm like, "Yeah, a lot of the time."
A lot of time it's thinking. What you see is watching TV is me thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking about what I'm going to write.
I'm coming up with content ideas. I'm watching Dave Letterman to come up with content
That's
ideas.
right. Watching all the pet tricks and stuff on
I
Letterman
mean,
channel.
it's just back to back
Letterman
pet
TV.
tricks on Letterman TV. Don't you
Cracking
think?
show.
Oh, I know. I've got to tell you, I think Samsung underplays or underpromotes
How
Samsung
many, there's
TV
so
Plus.
many channels now, eh?
Yeah.
And there's new ones popping up
There's
all the
a
time.
Dog the Bounty Hunter channel. Did you ever watch that show? We used to watch. Amanda and I used to watch that on Foxtel. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh.
It's a cracking show.
And like other brand, I think LG's got a same
the
similar
LG
thing.
channels,
Is Hisense bringing that into
Vita UTV.
There you
Vita
go.
TV.
So it's like, it'll be drinking. There'll be the same channels doubled up.
I think you find a lot of duplication, but what you normally find is an exclusivity period. So, like Samsung would have done a deal with Worldwide Pants TV, David Letterman's company, to do a year of exclusivity across
Should we
the
have
world.
a Two Blokes channel? Offer them a Two Blokes channel.
Imagine this rubbish back to back.
Imagine that. This rubbish back to back.
I mean, if you put this and EVs back to back.
Yeah. Two Blokes channel. Should we talk to Samsung? Get our people to talk to their people. Would you watch it?
Who's our people?
Right here.
I don't have people.
There's our people right here. I'm your people, you're my people.
Oh, okay.
And then we chat to someone. Happy anniversary, by the way, mate. Come on. What? Don't be giving gifts out. Oh, what is this?
Okay. Full disclosure.
I didn't get you anything.
Don't worry. That will become evident momentarily.
This sounds like I'm at home. I didn't get you. Thank you, but I didn't get you anything.
Just wait, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Full disclosure. Okay.
Yeah.
It was bought for someone else.
You are. What?
And Amanda cut it.
Excuse me?
There's a cut in the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you got the receipt?
Well, no. So this is how strict and good my wife is. I said, just take it back. They're not going to know. And she goes, no, I can't do that. And she had credit at the store, so she actually went, because it's a gift for one of Harry's baseball team coaches.
A TM bag as well, thanks, mate. You can reuse that one.
Oh, you can take it. I dare you to send it back to a PR.
Reuse that one.
So yeah, it's got. I don't know. I think you just put it through a sewing machine.
Mate, I'm not going to bother. It's fine. You can hardly notice it.
I know.
If you didn't tell me it was there, I would have hardly noticed it.
And you know what? If I hadn't have told you, I reckon a week later you would go, oh man, I've snipped it somehow. I don't want to tell Trev that it's broken.
I would have said he's giving me a dodgy bloody hat. Is what I would have said.
You can loosen it. It looks tight. Is it not tight?
What are you trying to say, mate? It's fine.
You got a big head.
It's fine. Look at that. Perfect. Look. Does that look okay?
It looks like that cut at the back's gonna give way.
Just straining it. Might just.
That was my concern, to be honest.
Nah, she's fine, mate.
Anyway,
she's
still got
fine.
a price tag on it.
Oh, she's fine. Oh, okay.
Just from Rebel Sport.
Very nice.
But it's apparently this year's model. I don't know.
It's not. It's this year's model, but it's not the members. The members hat.
Of course not.
Is
It's
what
the
I
supporters
get.
hat.
Yeah, it says Rabbitohs. It's
this
white.
one you can,
and it says 2025
You
member.
can get sweaty playing golf.
Yeah.
And you want to keep your members one for a good purpose. Anyway, happy 14 years, Stephen.
14 years. Can you believe it?
So on that note, we spent a lot of time with our marketing and promotions department earlier this hour.
Thank you, everyone, in our marketing
department. Sit down.
Yep.
You're not allowed to be heard on the show. Sit
Thank
down.
you. That's enough.
Jesus, they make so much noise in the background. Anyway, thanks for organising this, folks, but we appreciate it. But look, I did hint to this, and
so it's our anniversary, and you get the gifts.
Yep, that's right. And
like I got the gifts.
Look, the fact is, we had to put a lot of effort into the planning and the process around this. So it's taken us a time to develop this idea.
Yep.
We have 3 great prizes from our original sponsor, Netgear.
3.
I have a Netgear Orbi
original
kit.
Sponsor. Orbi what? Orbi.
It's just an Orbi kit. I don't know what model.
Okay.
It's an Orbi kit.
Okay.
I have an RS600, so the Nighthawk.
So
nice. If you love your
7.
Wi-Fi 7.
Yep.
And an M6 Pro, the mobile Nighthawk.
Oh, giddy up.
3 great prizes.
Wow.
That's got to be $3,000 worth. I don't know.
Am I allowed to enter?
Here's how you're going to enter, folks. Are you ready for this?
Okay, listen up closely. What's the entry mechanism?
The entry mechanism is to go to YouTube and search for Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Yes.
Find this episode.
Episode 672.
If you're currently watching this episode, this is the easiest thing you've ever had to do.
Yes.
If you are listening to this somewhere else, you need to go to YouTube and find this episode.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, episode 672.
Please enjoy the whole thing. And then comment below something witty that lets us know that you are
That you're a regular listener.
Regular listener. That's all you need to do.
And you've been listening for quite some time.
It doesn't, look, it could be 2 weeks. You could pick up witty things from listening to us for 2 weeks. And we will pick 3 people. This is a judged competition. And no, what do they say?
It's no skill. It's a game of skill.
No, game of skill. No. Game of skill, yeah.
It's a game of skill.
Look, don't argue with us, basically.
Yeah, no correspondence will be entered into.
Yeah. We pick 3 winners. They're the winners, okay?
Yeah.
Now, on YouTube, it's tough because you don't have your name or anything. So you just need to comment as your normal YouTube account, whatever it is.
Yep.
And then next week, when we pick the 3 winners,
you'll need to contact us and prove who you are.
We'll tell you how to contact us, to send a screenshot of your account to prove that that is you, and we will then distribute the prizes thanks to the legends, the awesome, amazing people, Heidi, Sarah, and the team at Netgear for an Orbi. First prize will be the Orbi. Second prize, the RS600 Nighthawk.
Good one.
Third prize, the mobile M6 Pro.
Cracking prizes. Wow.
How good's that?
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
And and I'm not allowed to enter, I'm not allowed to.
No. You've got each of those things
I might
already.
have a little. Imagine if Tech Guide has a little Guide comments.
You should do that just for fun. And then I'll comment.
I'll see if you detect it.
I'll comment. Who's the old bloke on the left?
Yeah.
Actually, that would be a good entry.
Not funny.
But 14 years we've been doing this rubbish.
Wow. 14 years.
As we often say, I have a child younger than that.
We do. You do. Yeah, wow.
This podcast is my 3rd child. Harry's my 4th.
We should give a shout out to James Manning.
Absolutely.
James Manning, who now works for the Australian.
Yes.
He's part of the media section there. But he was the person who brought Trevor and I together. I was still working at the Daily Telegraph at the time. I was the tech editor.
It wasn't Tinder.
And no, that's right. There was no swiping involved.
No.
And Trev was at GB.
Yep.
At the time, and you had your little Thursday evening tech show. And
was I doing that yet? What
year
is this? What year is this we're talking about?
2010.
Yeah. Well, I was doing Chip for Brains.
Chip for Brains. Great name.
Thanks, Brian.
And he brought us together, and that was how we were first on air together. And then I can remember we had a conversation waiting. I think we were outside the studio.
He was running late one
day. Was it Fox Studios?
Yeah.
We went to the
Fox
studios.
Studios. Him and Brendan Wood were talking too much about something else.
Yeah, and we were out the front saying, we could do this on our own, And we got chatting. Obviously got on very well when we first met.
Despite him being a Rabbitoh?
Yeah. But and I remember, do you remember this conversation about, we'll call it Tech Week?
Yeah.
Thinking, no one will listen
Well,
to
at the time,
no one will listen to a show called Tech Week.
The most I would be involved in tech podcasting was I would listen to Leo Laporte This Week in Tech.
Yeah.
So I knew that was a good vibe, but it couldn't be called anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think my reply was, mate, it's just two blokes talking tech. And we went, let's call it that.
And now, best value podcast in the world.
Best value channel
Yep.
you can come to, because we've got two blokes. We've got
Tech Guide.
BFTM, Tech Guide. We've got two blokes talking electric cars.
The best movies you've never seen.
We just need
the private feed, 6 days a week.
So 6 days a week, there's a new podcast in this feed, which is remarkable.
Two blokes talking the Pope we've discussed, but given his ill health,
mate, I saw. Maybe we'll discuss
one.
this in the private. I just watched the film Conclave,
which
we could be having that in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's where they smoked in the chimney and stuff.
Yeah, they decide on the new Pope. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I reckon private feed will discuss that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's a good movie. No, it's a cracking movie. Really
right.
good
The
show.
movie. Okay. Right.
And I'm seeing. I remember saying, I think it might be happening in real life, the way things are going. But,
mate, just look at the television for a minute, will you? Oh no, you missed it. This woman's got a dog. We're watching Letterman TV, and it's licking in her mouth. It's not pretty.
Not the most hygienic thing.
I'm not a big fan of dogs at the best of time. The sniffing and the licking, but
well, you know what? It's funny how Joe and I are different with the dog. Like, I don't mind Logan licking me. He licks my face and my hand sometimes. Yeah. But Joe hates it. She goes, who knows where he's put that, where he's been licking? I went, what?
Well, he knows, and I'm telling you, he's cleaning stuff with it.
Anyway, they don't lick Joe. They lick me.
So I was going to say, so there's no accidents anymore. So they've learnt.
Oh, no. What do you mean accidents?
Like not accidentally licking Joe and getting upset?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Because I was thinking having two rules, isn't that confusing for
Well,
him?
I think they sense. I think he tries to lick her sometimes, but she just doesn't get down close enough for him to do it.
I need to move on.
I get down there and he gives me a lick on the cheek, and I laugh. It's good.
I need to move on.
Yeah,
urgently.
Yeah, Logan's very affectionate like that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Should I keep the hat on for the whole show, or what? Or
I don't know. What do you think?
I'll take it off after we do the intro.
Oh, okay. During the intro.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good call.
Good transition.
But happy anniversary, honey.
Thank you,
well
mate.
Yeah.
Great. And so Amanda bought this for someone else.
She bought it for someone else.
What South supporter does she know?
Yeah, one of the baseball coaches, fair dinkum.
Genius. Tell him he's a good man.
He is actually a really good man, so I'm kind of loath
and he's a
to
Souths
admit
fan.
it.
Does she?
Well, I don't
know.
She said he's got a Souths tattoo.
Right.
And I'm like, that could have been. He could have lost a bet.
Did she say that she knew me?
No, but she did immediately when she made the error with the scissors.
Right.
She did immediately say, "Do you think Stephen will want it?" I went, "Do you think?"
Hello.
Great. What are you talking about? Of course he would.
I'll take it. Thanks, Amanda. So your wife bought me a gift. Is what you're saying?
That's essentially what's happened here.
That's what's happened.
Yeah.
Good on you, Amanda. Thank you.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to take a photo before we do the thing. I'll take a photo so that she knows we did it. Yeah, she'll be very happy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Not a bad price.
With Trevor Long from EFTM.com.
Really handy device.
And Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au.
Man, the intro's shorter than it used to be, isn't it? Because I thought I'd get that message sent before it happened, but this is happening in real time, folks. Anyway, send it to the family group chat. Episode 672, folks. 672, celebrating 14 years, thanks to the great people at Netgear and at Arlo. And once again, if you've skipped the gibberish at the start, you've missed how to win a prize.
Win some great Netgear prizes.
See, that's what happens when you skip the good stuff.
Yeah, go back and listen to that.
Many people say that is the good stuff.
It did come up in my memories on Facebook because our anniversary this year was over a weekend.
Yes.
So we couldn't
You didn't take me away.
We had to wait. We had to wait for the following week. Maybe next year, mate. But in the previous years, I can remember the year, I think it was 2021 or 20, when we had was 4 years ago, it was 2021. Yeah. We had the 10-year anniversary.
We've got the cake toppers over there on top of your thing.
And they made
the boys made a roadcaster cake.
They made a roadcaster cake. So if your camera goes back on me.
There it is. How good's that?
Here we go. It's the 10 years, Two Blokes Talking Tech.
So Matt Arnold would have made
4
that
years old.
cake
Hello.
topper, yeah.
That's 3D printed, you know.
Yeah, because he's got massive 3D printers, yeah.
Who's that? Who has?
Matt Arnold.
Okay.
One of the moderators.
I'll be getting in touch with you, Matt.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh,
You
no,
can make anything.
I'm keen to learn. Like, I wouldn't mind having a 3D printer.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Just to be handy to have it, to be able to, produce stuff like that. How
The
good's
thing is, I think it's all well and good to have one, but then they're
you
using
need
it.
the room for it. No, you
Then
need
they're
the room.
using it, so like they're designing the thing.
No, but you import the design and then just go, print.
I don't know that it's that easy.
I think it is, mate.
I don't know.
There's a program
You talk
that
amongst
you
yourself.
download. You download. You might pay for it. You might pay like $6 for a design of something,
Yeah.
and then you print it.
Yeah.
That's how it works, mate.
Okay, the download to print things, but I'm more excited
What's his
about
name? Matt.
Matt.
Ask Matt. He'll know.
Well, you ask him. I'll give you his number. I don't want to
Yeah, put us in touch, please.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, thanks to Nick, Gear and Arlo. We appreciate their support, ongoing long-term support of this show, and we appreciate everyone who's been here since the start, and there are 2 of you. There's many more, but it's
There's a few
appreciated.
OGs.
There are a few OGs,
Yeah.
and there was a couple of comments left on last week's show to that effect, and
Yes.
so we appreciate it. It means a lot to us. We love hearing
And
that
we
you've
haven't
been here a long
aged a
time.
bit either.
Yeah, I think we have.
We have not aged a bit.
It's not been good to us, this show. I'll be honest. Not my kids, not my
Speak
wife.
for yourself,
it's
mate.
him.
What? Really? Do I stress you out? Do I?
Not at all.
There you
To
go.
be honest, this is my least stressful
That's
time of
why.
the week.
That's why we've been around 14 years.
Exactly.
This is our Zen moment.
Think about how many marriages have started and ended in this time.
Oh, mate, we've outlasted a few marriages, I reckon.
For sure. Isn't there
Yeah.
like an average of 7 years? Well, they say the 7-year itch.
Yeah.
So we're doubling. We're
Wow.
doubling down.
Mate,
Also, think about the crimes we could have committed and done jail time for, and gotten
and
out.
been out.
There's people that
Wow.
have been in jail for part of our
Less
program.
than what we've been doing podcasts for.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that's amazing.
Anyway, we're not here to talk only about that. So thank you for listening, and we appreciate the support of Netgear and Arlo. It means a lot, and it's how we're able to bring this to you at such low cost. I mean, the value, folks, the value.
Yeah.
But breaking news, Stephen.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery, which is one big company, have made a big announcement this week.
Yep.
And that announcement is the launch of the Max streaming service in Australia on March 31. So in 1 month from now,
Yep.
we're going to have yet another streaming service.
Again, another one.
Netflix,
Yes.
Presto, gone. Stan.
Still
Remember
there.
Presto?
Presto lasted. Well, that wasn't the
Lasted a couple of years.
Was that Channel 7?
It was 7 and Foxtel
Yeah.
partnership.
Presto. And hey, Presto, it was gone.
Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. My goodness, it's binge. There's so
Yeah.
many, right? So the thing
Prime.
about this is, and you know more about this than me, but this is a real kind of studio-ish deal because
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is a big studio, HBO is a big content production house
Big,
and was
yeah.
a big channel.
Yep.
Discovery is obviously a big content platform as well. All of their content is going to be here. Now, we should be clear, we don't know truly and exactly what's going to happen from day one.
We don't know how much it is
It
either.
may happen over a period of time, but you've got to imagine that just like with Disney,
Yeah.
when The Simpsons was on Netflix and different shows were around the place, after a certain amount of time, basically when the contracts expire, all that content that they own and make will be on their platform.
Yeah. They return home.
That's
The-
what
the content.
The plan here for
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery would be for anything they own to be on their platform and their platform alone. So if there's a movie they made on Stan, it'll be gone. If there's a TV show they made and it's on Binge, it'll be back on Max. We don't know when, but trust me, it will happen.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers and between HBO and Warner Brothers, which would be the main content sources for the stream, lots of standout shows like The Last of Us, which was like Foxtel basically were advertising that every second ad was about The Last of Us.
Yeah, and the big thing
Yeah.
that's very clear in this announcement is Series 2 of the hit series Last of Us will debut exclusively on Max. Now, that means that if it is currently and normally on a channel on Foxtel
Yeah.
or it's on Binge, not going to be there. It's
gonna be on
going to
Max.
be on Max alone. But to essentially counter that, and I think as a hat tip to a long-term partnership, I think for no other reason,
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has allowed Foxtel to essentially come out at the same time and say, hey, great news.
Yeah.
This new app called Max is going to be on Foxtel IQ boxes on Hubble.
Yeah.
And Foxtel subscribers will get access to it for free
Yeah. Well, I think,
for a certain period of time.
well, that means they're not going to lose the content. So if you still want to watch Last of Us, House of the Dragon,
but
all those shows,
but it is still moving. It's moving.
Well, you've just got to move your remote control to the right, or
Mate,
whatever it's going to be.
whatever
So,
channel is the Last of Us on a channel?
yeah, I think it's on whatever the channel that Game of Thrones is on. Same channel as Game of Thrones.
Well, if you're someone that watches channels and not streamed content, you are going to be filthy because you're not going to understand where it is.
Yeah. Well, you're talking, all right, so here are some of the shows they're talking about. So Last of Us, House of the Dragon, Euphoria, Peacemaker, and then you've also got Warner Brothers series like
Showcase,
Friends,
Fox Showcase.
The Big Bang Theory as well. And
See, Big Bang is on Netflix.
Is it? It's on Foxtel for sure.
Yeah, because
You
we
see
watch
it all the time.
We're watching like
Netflix nearly,
Young
yeah.
Sheldon and Big Bang on Netflix.
Because according to this, this partnership where Foxtel are still going to have Foxtel subscribers will still have access to it, but I think they get access only to the ad-supported stream.
Yes.
So no mention of the standalone screen pricing.
We know
or anything
nothing
like that. We know nothing. We know that it's coming on March 31.
Yes.
But it'll. So do you think it'll be available? So say you got an LG TV, I got a Samsung TV. So we'll on March 31. Oh, here's another app we can download.
Well, how long has this been available in the US?
Years.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Yes. Then I think it'll
Yeah.
launch pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because they'll already have the apps for those TV
There you go.
operating systems.
So and if I'd assume if you got say Google TV, you'll be able to access this through the Android Play Store
Correct, yeah.
as well. So that's an option too. But apart from what we've just said, there's not much else we know.
So-
I reckon pricing is going to be really sensitive here. Like, what would you put this at a month? Considering that, like, it's not like it's a Netflix where there's all this original content. They're
Yeah.
basically leaning on.
It's
their
also not as big as
catalog
Disney
stuff.
either.
No. So what would you reckon? Would
like
you like
a
15 a month?
12 to 15 bucks a month.
$12.99 maybe.
Maybe it's
Like an
maybe
Apple
it's
TV price?
$9.99 for the ad supported,
Yeah,
and like $14.99 for the standard,
perhaps.
and then
Yeah.
another tier up for 4K.
Oh, okay. So you think they'll charge extra for 4K?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So just as an example, going back to what you said about Big Bang Theory. So Big Bang Theory is right now available on Netflix, Prime, Stan, Paramount. Like, it's everywhere,
Wow.
right?
Gets out there.
So what will happen here is, it might not happen overnight, but at certain points over the coming year, Stan's license to that will run out, Netflix's license, and they're not going to renew it
And they'll return
because
home.
they're going to want anyone
Yeah.
that's loving Big Bang to buy
Go to
a subscription
Warner Brothers,
to
yeah,
Max.
That's right. So, but not of course. As I said, really leaning on the catalog, seeing their primary TV shows and movies and series and stuff. But are they going to come up with original stuff? I know that Disney,
Well,
Disney
isn't that what they,
Plus,
but they do that. I mean,
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory essentially was an original
I
thing
know.
for them.
No,
back
but
in the
I
day.
mean new content. I think they mentioned one. They mentioned one new show they're working on. I think they said that the second series of The Last of Us will debut, but there's other shows in the works apparently that's going to debut as well.
I mean, do they still
yeah.
do TV deals? I assume they do. Like, TV
Yeah.
channels. Like Channel 10, I think, has some Big Bang content and stuff.
Yeah.
So
On the film side, interestingly, theatrical hits will come from Warner Brothers Pictures and DC Studios. So you're going to have Barbie, Beetlejuice, Twisters, and also there are new shows coming from Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. So there'll be new shows there,
yeah,
and as well as networks like TLC, HGTV, Cartoon Network is also going to be included. So you're going to see 90 Day Fiancé. Have you seen that?
no.
Outback Opal Hunters, Ben 10, and We Care Bears. We Care Bears. Should that
good.
say We Care Bears or We Bear Bears? It says here.
We Bear Bears.
We Bear Bears.
Ooh.
Maybe that's an adult show, that one. I'm not sure.
Oh, right, yeah.
But
It does
yeah,
say We Bear Bears in their own press release.
there you have it.
We've obviously not the target audience for that one.
No.
It's a real thing. We Bear Bears, baby bears.
Yeah, but
wow.
it's putting it up against Netflix, Stan, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime.
Dude, do you
Doesn't
remember?
have the depth of content to really compete from day one. I don't think so. It'll
I'd
build.
have to work. I could research what year it was, but and I've told this story before. I remember being at CES Shanghai, CES Asia, and I remember walking outside, and someone from, I'm going to say the Daily Telegraph, rang me for comment on the launch of Presto, let's say. Now, Stan and Netflix were already in the market, and Presto had just launched. And I remember saying, Aussies just don't have the appetite for more than two. Like, it's going to be a choose two and move on kind of thing. And now here we are with basically 15 bloody options. And the money going out the door is out of this world.
Like H Max, which is HBO Max in the US,
Yeah.
launched in the United States on May 27, 2020.
Yeah, right.
So they're entering their 5th year. And so hence Australia first, I don't know whether we're the first country outside the US to get it or not, but maybe first English-speaking country to get it. I wonder if it's available in the UK or not. I'm just looking through now on there, just searching through. No, I don't think it is.
Look, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, so let's if we look at the US website. Oh no, they've bloody made it so that you can't see it, but it doesn't tell me what the prices are.
So
it won't force me into the US site.
Do you want to guess how many subscribers they got in the US?
2 million.
2 million?
10 million.
Keep going.
I don't know any.
According to a combined total of 69.4 million paying subscribers globally as of June 30, 2021. It's probably more than that now.
Doing very well.
At the end of 2022, end of Q1 2022, HBO and HBO Max had 76.8 million subscribers. Then Warner Media merged with Discovery in 2022. So it's they're doing very well by the looks of it.
So a little bit of an insight. HBO Max in America, there are some providers like Foxtel that you can get it through.
Yep.
Basic with ads is $9.99 a month.
Oh.
Standard
US dollars.
Standard is $16.99.
Yep.
Premium is $20.99.
$20.99. Yeah, ultimate they call it here, don't they? Ultimate. 4 streams concurrent, 2 concurrent streams with the other 2. Ad light, ad free.
Premium is 4K and four devices at one time.
And of course, you can choose to pay yearly as well. Do you do that? I do that with Disney Plus
I think I do,
Disney Plus and Paramount. I pay yearly.
They're just ripping us now. It's just losing so much money on this.
Well,
stuff.
they got to say, I'm getting good use of all my services.
No way, I'm getting good use.
You're not getting use of all of them.
No.
Which one would you, if you had to get rid of one? Which would it be?
Stan's the one I use the least.
Really? Okay.
Except I haven't finished Yellowstone.
I
Just
can't
watched
believe it.
Just watched episode 3, where Jamie's girlfriend comes to the house and then drives away.
Yeah, I know what happens.
Yeah. That's
a
wild.
big episode.
Amanda went to bed halfway through it.
Big episode.
And Jackson and I downstairs went, oh my God! Yeah, it was pretty huge.
Well, tell Amanda to catch up.
Oh, no, she is. Don't worry about that. But look, this is, I just worry. So many content services, so many streaming services. They got you by the short and curlies because if you love them, you got to keep subscribing to them.
Well, if you like certain shows, like if you're a Game of Thrones, House of Dragons fan, you'll be thinking, well, I've got to stick there. But you think of other HBO shows. There's been a lot in the past, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is it an HBO show? Entourage?
HBO used to do comedy specials through the. I'd love for them to have an archive of comedy specials.
A lot of HBO shows.
HBO Sopranos was HBO.
There you have it. That could very well form the basis of this channel.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, if you like, you know what? I'll make a confession. I've not seen all of The Sopranos. I've seen only episodes. I've not seen it whole every episode of every season. Have you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I've not seen it all. So I reckon if this comes across, I might give it a crack and watch shows like that on it. At the moment, if I wanted to watch Sopranos, I could watch it on Foxtel. And I think I'm going through another viewing of Entourage, and that's on Foxtel as well.
See, I think that will be when you say it's on Foxtel. Yeah. How are you watching it? Where?
Streaming it. On demand.
Like on demand. So you're just searching for it and having it come up on your Foxtel box.
Yep.
You are so unique.
Sometimes I watch it on my computer on my browser as well.
In binge or?
No, on the Foxtel app. Foxtel Go.
Oh, it's your old school.
Foxtel Go. What's so old school about it?
Having Foxtel.
Well, Foxtel's good, mate. I want to watch the sport and everything.
It's on KO.
I know, but I don't want KO. I want Foxtel. I want 4K, baby.
It's on KO.
Yeah, no, but anyway, I've had 4K before you had 4K on KO.
Oh, it's not a competition.
I know. I'm just saying. That's why I've kept it. Yeah. Old school. You reckon Foxtel's old school?
Mate, 100%.
Yeah, but I think if you were to add up the amount of, if I say I would have had to pay KO, so I don't get access to Foxtel movies, on-demand stuff, all the channels that Joe watches, not all of them are on binge.
What ones are not on binge?
I don't know. There's some that aren't there.
I find it hard to believe.
Well,
She
just
just wants the remote to stay the way it is. She doesn't like change. That's how you've been able to stick around for so long.
No, mate.
She doesn't like change.
We've got boxes I've got a box in the theatre, I've got a box in my office, and I've got a box outside in the lounge room.
Outside?
In the lounge room. Not outside.
He's just got one on the porch.
Outside my office in the lounge room. Yeah. So we're big Foxtel customers. Yeah. And IQ, I've got the 4 in my room and the IQ 5s in the theatre and in the lounge room. Oh, it's 100 and something, yeah. Yeah. So you reckon I could, rather than paying for that service, I can get different streaming services to take the place of it?
Binge and KO.
Yeah.
$60 a month at most.
Okay.
Like I just financially.
I don't think we're paying us that much. It's around $100 per month.
I think it's more because when you have the extra boxes and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying it's going to add up, folks. It's going to add up big time.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Might have to do a bit of life admin on
And
the
this-
entertainment services.
This Foxtel deal, it's going to be on our boxes and you'll get that basic plan for free, is all about them clinging on to you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to lose customers because they know that this content is powerful.
Yeah, it would really it would lighten their show offerings, wouldn't it? If
If they lose them from channels, so that Fox Showcase channel could
Showcase,
disappear.
Yeah, right.
It could easily disappear.
Because that's where all those HBO shows exist, don't they? Yeah,
Yep.
wow. Interesting.
Time will tell, folks. We don't actually know. We're making it up as we go along.
The question we asked, though, is there room for another streaming service? And obviously there is.
Well,
What happens after
soon
this?
find out.
What happens after this? Are there any other services that we haven't, that other countries have, that we may get? Like, what else can you think of?
Hulu in America is like a combined service, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not its own independent thing.
No, I think Hulu's
We don't
on
have
its
Hulu.
own. No, but I think the programs in Hulu are on Fox and
No,
other-
because like there's some comedy specials being made just for Hulu now. And it's like, oh man, I don't
So
know.
is Hulu coming to Australia?
Who knows?
Do you want to check?
No.
Okay.
I'm already bored with all this Google searching while we talk. Everyone's like, come on, boys, you don't know what you're talking about.
You've only been doing this for 14
14
years. You don't know
years, and this feels like a dress rehearsal. Doesn't it?
Not at all.
We'll do better. We're getting there.
Yeah.
By 15 years, this is going to be
The warm
unbelievable.
up. The warm up. We nearly finished our warm up.
Yeah, but the last 5 years of this show are going to be unbelievable.
The last
15
5
through
years.
20.
We've
We're
agreed.
pulling the pin after 20, aren't we?
Is that what we said? 20? 20 years? So it's only
We
6.
said we're going to go to 20.
6 to go, yes. Only 6 to go. Come on. Who knows, folks? Who knows?
I could be bought.
Yeah.
I'll do year-by-year contracts after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
Well, I'll
who's
be
gonna-
young
who's gonna
still,
Who's
so-
going to be paying you?
I mean, just, agreement to do it. Anyway, move on.
It's a package deal, mate. Remember that. Package deal, baby.
Val did very well.
I'm sure he did, mate. I'm sure
Ratings
he did.
were unbelievable.
Yeah. Good for him. Wait till you go away. What are we going to do when you're away this year? Should I get Val to come back and we do it then? We'll get Val to sit in? Or?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything
We
remote.
swap chairs or what?
Well,
Oh,
you're
we
going
can't come
to
here.
do it here?
Can't come
you
here.
can come here if you want. If you want to learn how to drive
Mate,
the bus.
We'll have to see, mate. Might just be an audio only while you're away.
Yeah. See how Stephen's
Learn how to drive the bus.
Yeah, well, you could sit here next week and press the buttons and then take the file home and work out how to do it all.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling like it's going to be an audio show for 2 weeks in April.
We might just put a couple in the can before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some long privates.
Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Well, we know for the last couple of years we've been hearing from telcos about their plans to include satellite to their coverage of our vast continent. And we all know that cellular networks don't cover, I think, about 35% of the actual land mass of Australia has cellular networks accessible.
Up to it's 30 to 35 at
Yeah,
most.
so most of the country is nothing.
Zero. Take your phone outside.
Yeah, you just get
crickets.
nothing. So we already know that Telstra and Optus have got deals with Starlink, and they're already testing. I think Telstra's testing their messaging via satellite. Optus are going to start the same thing, but the government comes out this week, and I think they announced that they're going to have mandatory coverage in for voice, text, and how they mentioned that the satellite coverage will play into that. But as I was watching this, and you as well, I'm thinking, didn't we have this already?
Yeah.
Are you taking credit for this?
What are you announcing?
How does this work?
We're coming into an election cycle, right? So we don't know
Yes.
when it's going to be, but it's going to be very soon.
It'll be in April.
And a policy, they haven't announced legislation, they've announced policy here that Labor will do.
Yeah.
Labor will ensure that there's a universal outdoor mobile service obligation. So it's a different USO. And then, you read into the detail and they're talking about this being, using satellites to create cellular coverage. For
As if
text.
they thought of it.
And I'm thinking, are you announcing something that's already happening?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
That's precisely what
Like,
they did.
Optus was the first to announce their deal with Starlink, and I think Telstra somehow gazumped them through contracts because it was delayed so badly in the US. Because let's break it down. And we have talked about this, but the Starlink satellites, thousands of them in the air, there's a newer version of them that has this capability to communicate with mobile phones. They call it cell coverage in America. And so it does require the Starlink satellites to be changed.
Yep.
You know, some of them have to fall down and the new ones will replace them.
Down.
Well, they only have a limited life, very small lifespan, and then they get replaced,
and to be clear, they're only quite small, eh? They're like about the size of a toaster.
Shoeboxes, yeah. And so they're meant to come down every 4 or 5 years or something, right?
Yeah.
So, and then new ones take their place.
Just not on our house.
No, they burn up quickly.
Yeah.
And so in America, this is currently being tested through T-Mobile because the FCC, the regulator over there, approved this concept of cellular via satellite.
Yeah.
And Optus and Telstra are waiting to do the exact same test. They're both doing some testing because essentially there's probably only a couple of these new ones up over Australia. So I believe it's in Western Australia. Okay. They're doing some regional tests.
And so they're in the low Earth orbit. They just sit there. They don't spin around the Earth.
Yep.
They're in low Earth orbit.
These are Starlink satellites, and this is absolutely not you doing a deal with Starlink to get messaging on your phone. That's what people think it is. It's not. It's Telstra doing a deal and Optus doing a deal that says, look, so it's kind of an if this, then that, right? So if I'm standing in an open field and there's no Telstra mobile tower within sight, the phone will go, hey, can you see the sky? Can you ping any of these satellites? And if it can, it'll say, cool, there'll be a symbol they come up with that'll show, and that will show that you can send SMSs now. And in the case of an emergency, that's going to be huge. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be an emergency. It could just be to say, hi, Mum, I got here.
Yeah.
And then it will upgrade to be phone calls as well at some point in the future. And then there could be a time when small amount, and we're talking 1 megabit speeds, right? We're talking about getting basic data. So you could use WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger.
Well, I think they're not going to make it super fast because you wouldn't need Starlink then, would you?
It'll never be super fast because you don't have a satellite dish on your phone. It's using an antenna that isn't made for this.
Yeah. But the basics you can get by.
And critically, you'll be able to call 000. That's what matters. Yeah. That's what Minister Rowland was essentially alluding to, but it just felt like they were taking credit for what is a pen. So imagine later this year, Telstra announced that you can do this, and people are going to go, oh, good on the government for doing that. That's not.
Well, is that the intention? Wasn't the intention?
My message here is if you want satellite accessibility,
doesn't matter who you vote for.
Doesn't matter who you vote for at all.
It's going to be there anyway.
Make a rat's ass of difference who you vote for. Vote for other reasons. It's going to be there anyway. Now, it's funny because I read a lot of comments on Reddit about this, which is not something I regularly do, but I was fascinated by it. And most of the comments were, good, I don't want anything to do with Elon Musk. So people think, here's what people think is happening. People think the government is going to fly satellites, NBN style, to provide this coverage.
Hello?
No.
Were you answering any questions? Were you answering comments here,
I
mate?
did reply to a couple.
Were you commenting?
I did reply to a couple,
Yeah, should have left it.
Yep, I should have left it, but I didn't. But anyway.
Pull your head in.
What are you doing, you gibber? But in time, because TPG haven't formally announced anything, but they might be doing a deal with Amazon Kuiper, which is their satellite system.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
Kuiper,
in time.
What's called Kuiper?
Kuiper. It's spelt weirdly.
Not Kuiper.
K-U-I, Kuiper.
Kuiper.
Yeah.
Not Kuiper.
Kuiper. Not the Kuiper Pass. Kuiper.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So, look, in time, it could be that it's Amazon satellites that provide this service. It could be Starlink. You know, there is a concern that Elon Musk just switches things off because of his own political beliefs. And that's a real worry for companies, but that's where the deep legal detail would be.
Who else has taken ownership of that investment? Who else is doing that?
There's
Amazon.
There are other companies,
and Starlink. Not as
Amazon
big as
and Starlink are the biggest with the most prolific number of satellites, but there are others with smaller numbers of satellites.
Yeah.
And look, it doesn't need much because what we just want is we want someone who breaks down on the Udinadatta track to be able to call for help.
Be able to call. Yeah,
we want someone who's
it's not
hiking.
You're not going to stream a movie in 4K
and falls down a cliff to be able to call someone and say, "I'm here, help me."
Yeah. Or share their location.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the data thing. Initially, you just want to be able to message and say, I'm in trouble.
That wouldn't take a lot of data to share your location, would it?
No, but data's not part of it to start with. That's the critical thing.
Understand.
But just the fact that the government even felt the need. And you know what this felt like to me? It felt like someone in, the minister's office was at dinner or at a pub and they heard someone talking about this satellite stuff in America because I've seen T-Mobile ads for it and stuff.
Yep.
They've gone, we should make sure that's not just happening here, but it's got a regulation around it. Yeah, let's do that. Good idea. Yes. They didn't think to ask, because I can tell you right now, they didn't ask Telstra, Optus or Vodafone about this.
Yeah.
They did not.
Did anyone comment about it? Did they?
Yeah, I got comments from all three telcos.
To say,
basically said, look, we appreciate.
Thanks for approving.
We appreciate the intent. Was what they said.
Yeah.
We'll work with them.
We got it from here.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
You know, it's kind of funny. But, but put it this way, folks, the government is not buying or building anything.
Not a thing.
They're simply putting in writing
Signing a piece of paper.
what they will require of telcos. And I think that's huge because, mate, I don't know that they can just require Vodafone to do a deal with a low Earth orbit satellite company because what if that's too expensive? And also, by the way, we know nothing about commercially how this will work. My guess is that everyone will get OOO access for free.
Yeah.
So any phone that has the capability, and by the way, it won't be all phones, but any phone from the last few years will have the capability. OOO, done.
Even 4G phones should work, shouldn't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that what will happen is it'll be an add-on, bolt-on. It'll be like if you're a Telstra customer and you do want this 100% mobile coverage, $5 a month or $10 a month.
Yeah. Or would they do a call for call if you want to make a call or text from there? Charge you for
maybe
it.
they go old school.
Charge if you need it. Yeah.
Maybe they go old school.
Use it, yeah.
And just go, if you use it, you pay for it.
Yeah. Would you?
I think
I wouldn't add.
We've
$5.
just spent 20 minutes talking about subscription services, mate. They're gonna add it.
Yeah.
They're gonna say for $5 you can have it.
Okay.
They want people.
Like
they want truckies, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah,
They want
to
your
know
son
they've got it. Yeah,
to pay for it.
Sure.
Because
so they know if they're in those areas, they don't have to think about it. It's just going to be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Rather than having to go per call or per text.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's how
$5 a month.
We don't know that at all, but 5 or 10, I reckon. Yeah.
Would you pay that?
No, because I don't go far enough bush. And I do go bush where there's no coverage, but not to the point where I need urgently satellite. And also, this is a vastly different thing to the SOS emergency satellite services that Apple's got, to the satellite phone services.
Is that free? That's
exist.
free, is it?
It's currently still free.
Yeah, still free. But that's only available on the most recent iPhones,
iPhone
isn't
14, 15, and 16.
Yeah. So if you've got an older iPhone.
I had a call from ABC Rural in South Australia about that service. They said that there was a woman driving along a dirt road and her phone was in the back of a ute.
Yeah, and it fell off.
And it fell off.
And she thought she had an accident.
And it called emergency services because she didn't respond. And it was weird because they were filthy about it. And I had to say, this journo was like, how does that happen? And should they fix it? And I said, I'll stop you right there. What if she did have an accident?
Yeah. So it's a good
her life has been saved.
Yeah.
So we've got to take the balance of the good with the bad here, and it's pretty good.
Reserve your outrage for something else.
Yeah. Anyway,
I saw that. I read that story. I was in at 2GB. They had it printed out. We were going to talk about it on Monday night, but we didn't get around to it.
Some great comments.
And I said, there's a bloke named Trevor Long commenting on this. We don't need that. Don't need that rubbish.
Should have just changed the type to Stephen Fennick and just sent it back to them to print out. Anyway, good work, Labor government. You've done nothing.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
You could have just told ACMA to make sure that it's done properly. That's all they needed to do.
Yep.
If they wanted to do something, they should have just said, here's what I would have done if I was the minister and I was told to do something. I would have come out and said, listen, we as a government are excited about the fact that our telcos are working with major partners to bring satellite coverage to Australian mobile phone users. Yep. But we're concerned that they need to make it universally accessible for 000 calls and that it must be available in certain ways. Come up with something like that. And I've tasked ACMA with making sure that that's what happens.
Yeah. So you're not sort of taking credit for it.
Yeah.
You're making sure it meets the standard.
But you're standing over them
make
to
sure
say,
it meets your standards.
make sure you do it right, folks.
Yeah, fair enough. Mate, they need you on staff.
There'd be some headbutting. I don't think it'd go well.
Interesting, though. Interesting.
Anyway, Two Blokes Talking Tech. Thanks for your company. 14 years on and we're still just going on with this rubbish.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
And we love our sponsors, Netgear. They've been with us since the start, and that's 14 years of support for this show. And they provide some of the greatest networking solutions to Aussie homes with the Orbi range, with the Nighthawk range, with the mobile portable range. And they've got something for everyone. And they've got something for you. If you want to win it for free, go to the YouTube channel. Just search for Two Blokes Talking Tech on YouTube. You'll find this video. Leave a comment below, and we will pick 3 people to win a Netgear prize, and we'll announce that next week because Stephen's going to remind me to announce that next week.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we'll definitely forget.
I'll be checking the comments, don't worry.
Absolutely, for sure.
Like I always do.
So we appreciate their support, and if you want the best in networking for your home, you've only got one place to go, and that's netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right, Stephen, it was announced a week ago, and it's here now, the iPhone 16e. E for egg. E for
Can hardly see it,
Evolution.
wasn't
Yeah,
against
the black one
background.
doesn't show up very well. E for evolution. E for
Yeah, E.
erroneous lack of lenses. Here's the thing.
E for extra.
I got to tell you, I wish I could show you in front of me here, but I've published some photos at EFTM, and in my video, I took photos. I was out at places like I went to the supercars on the weekend, and I was doing this with my phone, taking photos like on both phones at the same time, trying to do as many. I was doing these ones matchy, trying to take photos, and weirdly, I got to tell you this, and you'll see this in the video. The iPhone 16e photos, they look better, and I'm using a 16 Pro.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's a colorization. There's just a more vibrant color. Anyway, leaving that
More
aside,
processing going on.
leaving that aside, because it could be, as a disclaimer, it could be that I have a natural photographic style installed on my phone. I don't remember, and I'll check that. But bottom line, the photos looked just as bloody good. I did a 2x zoom, which is a cropped on the 48 megapixel lens on when Jackson was pitching at baseball. Looked awesome, right? Video looks great. It doesn't do cinematic mode. It doesn't do action mode. But apart from that and not having a 0.5 lens, it's like, what are we missing here? So the thing I was looking at was thinking, remember last week we discussed this a bit, and we came to pretty much this resolution, but I've really nailed in on it now to say this is not a $250 more expensive SE. This is a $400 cheaper iPhone 16.
Yeah. That's a good way of thinking of it.
And it's hard to argue with because it looks the same, it feels the same. I didn't notice once that I only had a notch, not a dynamic island.
Yeah.
I mean, does that matter to anyone? No, not really.
It's the same size as this. It's 6.1.
It's
Same
got,
size as
it's
the
got
Pro.
decimal point millimeters of difference in actual size. The process is exactly the same. The battery life is extraordinary.
Is it?
It's
Well,
very
they said
good.
that, didn't they say it was?
It's the best battery life on a 6.1 inch phone ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, this is better because it's a 6.3.
It's got a bigger battery.
It's a 6.3. It's got a bigger battery. It has slightly better. We're talking 2 hours better. But
so why is it better battery? Because I think
because they said they
refresh rate. The refresh rate.
They redesigned the internals, but also the screen.
The C1 modem.
The C1 modem. So its ability to be battery efficient when doing the mobile coverage. Secondly, you're right, the screen is different. It's basically iPhone 14 look, so notch, with iPhone 15 screen technology. It has slightly lower nits in brightness than the 16. Mate, none of these things you're going to notice. None of these things you're going to notice.
I think for customers who just want an iPhone, you know how your teenagers or maybe younger people want. I just want an iPhone.
Yeah.
All right. And so if they know that they can get one, and look, psychologically, the triple digit number 999 says, that's cheaper, not cheap, but cheaper. I think that's going to get a lot of people across the line.
$400 cheap. So you're a parent.
And they've badged it the 16, which means latest. It's the
It
latest
does.
range.
It's got app. I didn't even mention Apple Intelligence in my review because it's not relevant. The fact that it's got it is relevant, but it's not relevant to how it performs or what it is. It's going to last you 5 or 6 years because it's got the current processor that will be supported
There you go.
for that period of time. Like it's hard to argue with.
So I think we discussed this last week about the 15 sort of becoming stuck in no man's land. Really,
You've got to really need the lenses
if you don't care about the
and want to
Apple
save
Intelligence.
$50 on the 16. It's a
But
strange
that
one.
has dynamic island, 2-lens camera, MagSafe, but no Apple Intelligence.
Yeah. This has no MagSafe, but that can be solved instantly with a third-party case that has magnetic attach.
It also has an inferior chip. So the 16E chip is better than the 15
Than the
chip.
15, yes.
Yeah, wow.
By a couple of levels, yeah.
And so we're saying your photos look really good.
Photos
Performance-wise, great.
Performance is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that the screen was even partly different.
Yeah.
It's 3 grams lighter. Who's noticing
And
that?
you like this smaller screen anyway. You like the smaller. Although you've been
Yeah,
using,
I'm running
the Max lately?
No, this is the Pro. I've been running the Pro, which is 6.3 because that's the main thing is the bezel. It'd be hard to tell because I've got a case on, but the bezel around the edge is slightly bigger on this, like the 14 was, you know?
So that's right. The Pro is 6.3 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the 16 is still 6.1.
6.1.
Right.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know how you justify the 16, I'll be honest with you. Because this camera is the same camera. It's the 48 megapixel fusion camera that is on the Pro and the 16.
But if you want a bigger screen, you've got the 16 Plus to choose from if you want that.
Of course.
So this could really cut into the 16 sales.
I think this cuts
And
heavily into
15
16
sales.
sales and 15 sales.
Yeah.
I
If you're a
think
pro user, that's kind of, you're willing to go that extra bit. You want the premium materials and the titanium and better camera.
the kids do some stupid things on Snapchat where they go 0.5 up to someone's face and they take photos. Are they going to miss that? Maybe.
I suppose you can't do as good macros as you can with the multiple.
Can't do any macros.
Can't do any macro.
No.
Okay. Oh, well, that might be a deal breaker for some people.
I'd find that hard to believe.
macros. Oh, my God.
So I'm going to give these to my kids to review.
Yeah.
Because Jackson has a 14 Pro and Vivi has a 13 Pro Max. I'm going to be fascinated to see whether Apple Intelligence is something that they care for,
Because they didn't have it with their
because they
other
don't
phones.
currently have it.
Yep.
Jackson may miss the lens photography.
Because he's into his photography too, isn't he?
He's a bit into it, yep.
Yes.
But I don't. It's going to be fascinating to see whether they're prepared to go to this level.
Like if you,
yeah,
I know Jackson, like he's a photography fan, and other people who they're really into it because it's a camera more than a phone, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's a camera. But anyone who's happy just with the happy snaps, just taking your shots, for social media.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to say, "Oh, that's a 16E phone."
Well,
"Oh,
I think I
that's
said
from the
last week
Pro."
this will be a corporate bestseller.
Yeah.
Like if you're a business with 200 employees, you're handing out phones to $400 a pop
It's
is
the bread
a
and
huge
butter,
saving.
the bread and butter iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a tough one because it used to be an SE and it was cheaper. But that was a phone that was really people that were clinging onto things like the home button and stuff. This, as an upgrade from the 10 or 11 or the SE, is a phenomenal battery life.
Huge.
Phenomenal performance.
And performance upgrade too, yeah.
So
but if like we mentioned last time, this isn't a replacement for the SE.
No.
This is a completely new product. SE's dead. This is new. So it didn't replace it.
the SE's
They
dead.
just
Long live the E.
It was end of life, and they introduced a new product.
They've got rid of the S.
Yeah. So the E, what does E stand for? Did you
Efficient.
ask anyone?
I don't know. No,
Efficient.
I didn't ask anyone. They would
E.
never answer those questions. Do they release a 17E with the 17, or do they keep the 16E on sale for 2
I
years
think
and
they
update to a
keep the
18E?
16. Keep the 16 as one of the more affordable models, and maybe release the 17E a year later or same time period. When was this released? So
Early in the year. Do you bring out the 17E, the E every year, or do you bring it out every couple of years?
I reckon every year.
Hmm.
Although the other thing's
I
going to
worry
improve is the chip.
I worry it's going to hit on that base model like 17 sales.
Yeah. Unless they keep it and leave it alone for a couple of years.
That's
and
what I'm thinking.
Do every 2 years.
And then we see an 18E.
Because because the 17E, would it be the same price? It might have to be more expensive or maybe cheaper, I guess, but it's going to still be around that same price. It's not
it
like
needs
it's
to
going to
stay
be
at
any different.
$999.
But I'm just trying to think what vast improvements can you have between the 16E and the 17E?
Well, we
chip-
don't know what's in store.
The chip, you're still going to have Apple Intelligence. You're still going to
They
have
haven't
one lens
touched the
camera.
cameras for years in reality.
So the other thing that would change would perhaps be the chip, but how much different can that be in a year?
Make it every 2 years, it's agreed.
Maybe, yeah.
So 16th anniversary, another E?
Another 3 years, yeah, perhaps. So it's in 2 years' time. Yeah. Well, what are we up to then? 17 would be the 18E.
Yeah.
Well, let's remember that on episode 672, we called it. We called
And
it, folks.
if they announce a 17 at any point, just don't go back to the
just
logotype,
ignore
folks.
it, yeah.
Just ignore everything you remember.
So you're liking it? A winner?
It's beautiful. I think once the kids, because I'm not going to let them use it forever. I don't think they'll both want it.
Do you reckon they want to go back to their
I think
their
one or the other
Maxes,
will go back.
Their Pro
Yeah.
devices?
I suspect.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Mm.
Now, I'm not going to tell them how long I have these on loan for so that I can get a genuine response from them. But put it this way, the simplest thing to say is this. If I was out of this industry and I was looking for an iPhone, I'd buy an iPhone 16e.
Yeah. It does everything you need.
Full stop.
Yeah. Does everything you
Mate,
need.
there'd be 2% of people who need the other features.
Yeah.
2%.
Yeah. I'm just sort of like, what they've made this. I know they've left features out deliberately, right?
Of course.
But are those features good enough to keep people in those more expensive products? Like, is MagSafe that important?
Not when you realise you can get a case that does it.
Is the multiple camera system that important?
I struggle not to have the 5x zoom when I'm taking a cool photo of Jackson pitching,
Yep. Okay, because it's 2x zoom, only.
Yeah, it's only 2x zoom and,
I think you could be able to manage. Yeah.
I think I'd probably get by.
Are they at risk of cannibalising the more expensive models in the lineup when they realise that this
I don't think so, because
this does the job.
Because I think those models are sold by the fandom of the early orders and the contract renewals.
Yeah.
This is not a phone people are buying on contract.
But also,
en masse.
too, I've got to be honest, it's a plain-looking phone. It's very basic.
Just put a cover on it.
But I'm saying like the Max, the Pro and the Pro Max, they look really good. Titanium, they look premium.
Yeah, but
whereas,
when you put a case on,
I know.
you don't know what it is inside.
Yeah.
Oh, what have I done here? It's not on.
Single.
Hey? What have I done?
What have you done, Trev?
Oh, it's like it's not going on. Hello.
Is that the right case for it?
Oh, yeah, it's the wrong phone. That's
There
a 16.
you go, mate.
That's
You got
a
the
16.
16. Hello.
Didn't feel snug.
Hello.
I like it to feel snug. Like, I'll give Vivi that case.
Yeah, the
She'll
pink
love
one.
that.
What's that pink? You call that
Pink
pink or
silicone.
purple or what?
It's definitely pink. What are you
Pink.
talking about?
Pink.
Are you kidding?
Maroon.
No. It's just pure pink, isn't it?
Pink. All right.
Kidding
I
me.
believe you.
It's got to say that on here
What
somewhere.
does it say it?
Fuchsia. What are the colours of these cases? Hang on. Bear with me. Bear with me, folks.
So this one's fuchsia.
Winter blue.
Blue.
Winter blue.
Winter blue.
Fuchsia. Lake green.
Lakey green.
White. Oh, yeah, white.
White is white. And
Black.
Black.
There you go.
I like how they only had black and white and just let the cases be the colours.
Mate,
That's sensible.
these people are all buying cases.
Yeah.
And honestly, these are beautiful cases from Apple, but get something with magnetic attach.
Yeah.
And it means you can have
You can get
standby
'em.
mode. Yeah,
You could have bought them a week before they came out.
Spot
before
on.
it was announced. You could have bought
Yep.
the cases.
there it is.
So, yeah.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, folks. You can read all about that at EFTM.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Well, while we're on the subject of Apple,
Oh, we are
I
Apple
should,
doubling down. Sorry, Bruce.
I should mention the fact that we were talking about Apple Intelligence being available on the iPhone 16e, already available on iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max and all the 16 range, also on any M series MacBooks, and is it M series iPads as well? M series, or the latest iPads.
I don't know, mate.
But now another Apple product has got Apple Intelligence, and that is
Da-da-da-da-da.
Vision Pro.
Yo.
Woo! So it's coming
it's
with
coming.
an update, Vision OS 2.4, which
Yeah.
will be released in April.
Yeah.
It's going to have Vision Pro Apple Intelligence. So you'll get access to writing tools, image playground, Genmoji. They've got a new app, though, coming called Spatial Gallery as well. That's part of that update. But in terms of the Apple Intelligence, I think I know. Like I sometimes use it in my workflow. I like to have the screen in sort of this big screen in the room, and the keyboard still at my fingertips.
Yep.
So if you do like incorporating the Vision Pro in your workflow, then you've got the opportunity to do just as much with Apple Intelligence on that as you would on any other Apple device.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
yeah.
So that's actually not the feature I'm most excited about with 2.4.
Yep.
There's two other things they're doing on the iPhone. So you're an Apple Vision
Yeah.
Pro user. They're putting an Apple Vision app on your phone that will allow you to see new content. Because I think the problem
To
with the Vision
discover
Pro
the
is
content.
it's sitting over there, it's sitting in the
Yes.
shop or whatever, and you don't know what's new because you haven't put it on for a month or a week or whatever. So now in the app, you can get notifications and things to say, oh, there's this dude that just dived under the ice. You should watch it.
Yeah.
There's this new Hawaii video. You should watch it.
It'll bring you back to it.
It'll bring you back to it. And more importantly, and I did this with the kids on the weekend because I took the Vision Pro home and because my mother-in-law can't really travel. So she was like, is there a way I can put a headset on and see places in the world? I went, stand by.
There
Let's have a
is.
play. I mean, there's a few immersive things. I don't know if it's the travel experience she's looking for, but we'll have a play with it. But so I don't think the kids had properly played with it ever. And so when you're on the Vision Pro, you do this, you do that, you click this thing, you're on a guest mode,
Yep.
and then you enable it, and then they put it on and they've got to go through the whole configuration setup thing.
Yeah.
But there's this thing where you're like, okay, now you should be seeing this, and now you can do that. Now, I was lucky I had AirPlay on the Hisense TV at home, so I
Yep.
could see what they were doing. But now, as you create guest mode, you can do it on your phone, hand it over, and it'll automatically AirPlay. We've
So
seen it.
see what they're looking
We've
at.
seen it in briefings when they show us Vision
Yeah.
Pro, and it's what they have in the store when they're showing you.
Yeah.
Someone's on an iPad looking at what you're looking at.
Okay.
That's what you need as the owner of the Vision Pro. You want to be able to say, okay, yeah, so swipe to the left and then click on that icon there that's blue.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like you can guide them
Guest
through the
mode
process.
is way
Yeah,
easier
yeah.
to onboard them for
Yes.
that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
smart.
So that's
But,
really cool.
It is a good idea though to have the the suggested content. So now available on Vision Pro,
Yeah.
and you discover that on your iPhone. Go, I'm going to go look at.
Harry sat and watched the entire Transformers something or other movie because he's
3D.
right into it right now in 3D.
Nice.
He loved it. He watched the whole thing on a beanbag. The battery was going flat. He sat in the office at home and charged while he watched it, right?
That's awesome.
But the next day I said, what was it like? He goes, it was awesome. I said, what was the 3D like? He said, I didn't really see it.
What?
Yeah.
Just
So it was interesting that he just loved being immersed
just
in
the immersion.
the movie.
Yeah, right.
But he didn't really notice the 3D. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I suppose if you sort of get into it, I think early on you'd be thinking, "Oh, this is interesting," and then it just becomes part of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, there you go.
Spatial Gallery is another addition to a Vision OS 2.4. So you can take spatial photos and videos with your iPhone Pro models.
Yep.
Now this is not just that; it's a collection of photos, videos, and panoramas. That Apple curates all this and puts it into one gallery. So you could have all kinds of photos and videos, art, culture, entertainment, nature, sport, travel, which is just there. So you can watch it like you're there. Like spatial videos are. It's like you're in a time machine. You've stepped back in a moment in time, and you're part of it, which is really impressive, isn't it? And same with spatial photos; they have that 3D quality. So imagine now what this is going to offer. Imagine like photographers and artists knowing that there's a gallery now that can display this sort of work. I reckon that's going to be pretty cool.
So I still think that if you've got or used a Vision Pro, you have to try all the immersive content. It's just wild.
Oh yeah,
it's so beautiful.
Right.
It is literally immersive.
Yeah.
It is just so cool. Yeah, check it out. All right, you can, if you've got a Vision Pro,
then you're doing
stand
very
by
well.
for the update, but you are doing very well
Very
already.
well.
So you probably already know it, to be honest. But Apple Intelligence genuinely expanding across the entire Apple ecosystem.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Two Blokes Talking Tech, proudly supported by Arlo. And if you haven't got Arlo cameras, why not? You should have them. You got to keep some peace of mind, protect your home or your holiday home or anything else you hold dear. Lots of cameras to choose from. One I wanted to focus on today is the wired floodlight, which is a powered floodlight, so electricity coming directly there. No need to recharge a battery. It does, though, connect wirelessly to your network, so you can actually monitor it with your other cameras. But here's a product, and there's if you at time of listening, there's a flash sale where you can get a solid discount here. It is a way for you to keep your home safe day and night. So those lights, which are motion sensitive, can come on and light up your entire front yard or backyard or wherever you happen to place it. And it shoots 2K video, HDR video, 160-degree field of view, which is huge, 2,000 lumens brightness through those lights, two-way audio and siren, and it's also got color night vision. Now, I think it's a really smart move to have your cameras in your house visible. This is a decent-sized camera, and the beauty of this is that if anyone comes in range of it, the lights come on and go, hey, we
So
see
good.
you. We see you.
I'm
and
in
we
love
hear
with this
you."
camera. I'm going to buy two more of these because I've got mine on the front corner of my house where the driveway is.
Yep.
And at the back of our house, right up the top, like on the second story, there's one of those traditional old black floodlights, sensor lights. So I'm going to get that replaced with one of these. So I've got a backyard view camera. And then at our back door, I've also got an existing Arlo. I'm just going to get that wired with the floodlight for the extra light.
So it costs if you act now at the time of this special, it's under $200. But normally, and normal price is pretty affordable too, $249.
Yeah.
So the wired floodlight, security light, and camera built in one from Arlo. Check it out at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Now, just quickly, I went out to Sydney Motorsport Park on Friday as a guest of Optus, and that freaked a few people out. Just followers, not Optus. They were very happy to have me there. But I thought to myself, because we were going to go to Gold Coast last year and look at this, they've got a big partnership with the Walkinshaw Andretti racing team, which is the Optus, obviously, sponsored car with Chaz Mostert. And, you look at these things and you think, they just paid $1 million to put a sticker on a car. But it's actually far more involved than that. And, look, I don't know whether they were just talking the talk, but the Andretti team, Walkinshaw Andretti team, their team boss was talking to us about the fact that this is the way they do sponsorships. They don't do sponsorships, they do partnerships. So here's something I didn't know. And I'm a bit of a fan. I'm not massive into V8s, but I'm a bit of a fan. Every car, there's telemetry, there's data that goes back. Every car has a SIM card in it. I had no idea.
Wow.
It's not some radio link going back. Every car has a SIM card in it that transmits the data in real time back to the pits. Now, they were a bit coy about this because I said, does every team get to choose who their telco is? Because they said to us, look, the thing we're getting from the Optus network is low latency, and that means we get the data faster. Every millisecond counts. And look, they didn't want to say it gave them an advantage, but I got the sense that it did. But I've got the sense also that if you had a Telstra deal, you could use Telstra. But there was that was just an example of how they genuinely do use the Optus network at V8 races. But then in the pits, they had these headsets where like sponsors and things could come along and listen to the team radio. Well, that was all happening over Wi-Fi. Over the Optus network and Wi-Fi. So what they do is they essentially just set up a little private network in the back of the pit garage, and they pipe the audio into this thing, and then they're able to distribute this through like an app. And what they need for that is high quality internet, fast internet.
Yep.
And in some places, big race like Bathurst, there's 150,000 people there.
Yeah.
If half of them are on the Optus network, that's going to mean it's not as reliable because it sponges down, right? So here's what I learnt. I learned that every car has a 4G SIM card, and I learned that every network has the ability to create a network slice.
Oh.
Now, I'd broadly heard about this before.
I've heard of network slicing, yeah.
But it was so well demonstrated to me that basically, imagine there's a tower with Optus coverage on it, and they're able to say, look, we've got all this bandwidth, but we're going to allocate this much of it just to there.
Yeah.
Just to this customer.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's the Walkinshaw Andretti team, right? And they were demonstrating this, and I've got some photos. I'll publish it maybe later in the week at EFTM, but they had two smartphones. One of them was connected to the Wi-Fi network of this 5G home system. The other one was just on the Optus network as a customer. And they did a speed test on both. One of them was like at 60. The other one was like 400.
Whoa.
Because one of them had a dedicated part of the network. And then the funny thing was, when the slice was not in use, the customer got its normal fast traffic.
Right.
So it's a balancing act.
So would they be able to do that at like big events, wouldn't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, this is not in
Sporting
use
events.
anywhere, but I said to them, at the grand final or the origin, is it possible that you might get to a point where this is a service that is provided to people on a certain plan, or is it possible this is something I opt into for a day or a month?
Yeah.
That I get priority access on the network.
Yeah, right.
Because you can imagine Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, they could all do it. They could slice their network so that every tower has a little exclusive
allocation.
Access to it.
Really
and so as a priority customer, you can get access to that. Essentially, the telcos have been doing this for years for big priority customers.
And also,
now they're
do it for
thinking about how they
gaming
can do it
as well. They do it for gaming.
Well, they could. It could be a reason to do it.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
I found it fascinating.
It's not the size of your network; it's what you do with it that counts. Is that right? The slicing.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone gets a nice and even slice.
Yeah. And by the way, they said that when the slicing happens, it's additional capacity on the tower, not taking away capacity from other users.
Makes
so
sense.
they add the capacity to the tower and create the slice. And
so they thought, we'll do it in the V8 Supercars, and Trevor will love that.
They will.
And
Well, originally, in their respect, they wanted us, you and me, to come and record our show there.
Yeah.
And then they realised that we couldn't video it because there'd be rights issues. And then we're talking about doing it in the pits. And, mate, I'll tell you right now, I'm glad we didn't do that because the pits were busy, noisy, and it would have been weird. We would look like idiots.
Plus, I don't think they would have been able to meet my quote, mate.
Oh, really? There it is. Hello. I was just doing it
Did they just invite us to record
relationship
there?
building?
Invite us there to record for free?
Just do the show.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
What's wrong with just doing this show somewhere?
Nothing. Are we still going to chat to the boss over there, Stephen Rue?
That's on the cards, yep. It's a plan.
Yeah.
But we'll obviously go to him. We'll go to the Optus offices.
Of course, yeah.
It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Look forward to that.
That's all I got, mate. Happy anniversary.
Yes. Same to you.
14 bloody years. Far out.
Yep.
I mean, honestly. I don't think I've been paid enough for this.
Mate. Tell Amanda thank you for the gift.
I already have. She said, hang on, I'll tell you what she said.
She said, what a handsome bloke that is. Oh, that's
Stephen.
Stephen.
Didn't say that. She said, poor Stephen.
Oh,
getting our dodgy leftovers. Does he think it's a good present for a Bunnies fan?
Yes, definitely. So does she want this back then?
Asked direct.
Does she want it back?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
No, because she's bought another one. Jackson went and got it yesterday. We've got another one.
Yeah.
If she cuts that, you're getting another one. If she cuts that, there'll be
I've
drama.
only got one head.
If she cuts that, there'll be some budget.
Contrary to popular belief, I've only got one head.
It's a big one, though, let's be honest.
It's a solid, mate. Big head, big brain. That's what happens.
Oh, there it is. You know what? It's your memory. Because if
That
there's
too.
one thing that I'll give you credit for over 14 years, you've got a very, very good memory.
Thank you.
A
What was
very
that? What
good
was you
memory.
saying? No, it's all those little Sudoku puzzles I do, mate, and all the little brain training, and yeah. No, but I've always had a good memory. You're right. I pride myself on my memory.
All right.
Can you remember? Can you remember details about first dates with Amanda and stuff like that? I can remember every detail of those days.
All right. Good
And
on you.
even what Joe was wearing and everything. It's cool.
You're so fun.
Good to recall that stuff.
Um,
Thanks again, mate.
No, my pleasure. Happy anniversary. And leave you if you're listening in the car,
If you want to win a Netgear product,
head over to YouTube, search Two Blokes Talking Tech. It'll bring up the podcast.
Search for
As
672.
As a podcast you can just click on. And
672.
look, if the last one's not 672, then find 672. You'll find it. It'll be this one. He'll be wearing that bloody hat.
Yo,
Leave a comment below, something witty, something that shows
something
you're
shows
a-
you've been
you're a
listening
listener.
for a while.
Because some rando on YouTube comes across it and just goes, "Oh, I'm going to enter." They're not going to, mate. They're not going to be witty.
Just show us that you know us.
Ooh,
There you go.
that's what I'm going to title this episode if I remember. There's
Show us that you know us.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
Show us. Show us that you
He's got to write it
know
down. Can you
us.
believe it?
I'm not going to be able to read that later.
Show us that you know us.
All right. See you, mate.
Bye-bye.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.